But this is the part that you're all waiting for. It is safeguarding, and it's the single most important thing. And the question that we had earlier from Gillian was, well, what about doing it in a parish when people are resistant? If we do the right things and the right safeguarding, people will love what you do and see you're making the right precautions. And what I want to say as well is, wherever you're from, whatever you're doing, you're representing all of us and the massive community worldwide who do this. Because if you don't do the right things, you're giving everybody a bad name. So we've got a standard we've got to uphold, because we are ambassadors for Christ. So that's how important it is. So I'm going to hand over to Mike.
Thank you, sir. I think this is perhaps one of the hardest gigs in the world, not only to follow the wonderful Stuart, round of applause. Yes, kudos. But also to deliver an important, as you say, but quite dry topic right at the end of the day. And I am between you and the traffic on the M3, which is what your mind might be on. So what do you do in these situations? You have to really, really try hard to gamify it. And so we're going to do some interesting gamification. Just as a context set, just so you know what I'm going to talk about. We have touched on it throughout the day, but every diocese has its own prayer ministry policy. As a show of hands, are you familiar with your diocese prayer ministry policy? That's why we're running the day. Okay. Every diocese, I don't know why we don't have a national policy. I think it's something we should do, honestly, but there we are. Every diocese has its own policy. I have the Arundel and Brighton and the Portsmouth diocese policies. If you're not in either of those dioceses, you will need to find your policy, but it's easy to find, it's just important. They are not all the same. So I not only have the graveyard shift and follow Stuart, and it's a dry topic, I'm also, in theory, going to train you things that aren't 100% correct for the diocese if you're not in Portsmouth. However, there's an important nuance. You should align to the policy of the diocese you are conducting prayer ministry in. So today, you should all have been using the Portsmouth prayer ministry policy. Don't worry, I'm not going to catch you out and give you, take marks away. But yeah, so I'm going to say that at the fun fair, they say scream if you want to go louder. I'm going to give you back the energy you give me as we go into the gamified section on safeguarding. So I'm going to do it via applause. When the level of applause is right, I shall come out and we shall start. So you can start rippling a little bit of applause. Keep building it. I told you it's a bit strange. Oh, it's all very dark in here now. Yeah, we need more. A bit more. Yeah, we're getting there. Okay, your hands are probably, your hands are, right. Welcome to Mike's safeguarding, what did I call it? Game show. We are playing, ladies and gentlemen, Name That Icon. I can't do any more than this. I told you, it's a hard gig. Okay, how do we play this? I am going to put a series of icons onto the screen. There's no labels, no clues, unless you can't guess them, in which case I'll have to give you clues. You need to press your buzzers. Oh. Okay, we've got 8 buzzers and 9 tables. Stuart, would you mind? I'm going to say this table right here, you're not going to get a... Are you so excited, Robin? If you guys wave at me, that's your buzzer. I think this is the one table that won't get a buzzer, Stuart. You've got one job. Come on. Okay, because at least I can see you. But if you know the answer, just wave and that's your buzzer. Apologies. Too many people turned up. Not a bad problem to have. Okay, can you test that your buzzers work? Some of them might have an on-off on the bottom. So if it's off, switch it to on. I know it's that time of day. Just see if it works. Oh, good. Your one's working? No, if it's not working, just switch it on the underside. Someone's not got a buzzer. Which table's not got a buzzer? Oh, there's no one on that table. Okay, good. You can have a buzzer. There we go. Right. I'm conscious of time. Let's get going. There are, the first team with the correct meaning wins the points for each of these icons. What do points win? Prizes. That's it. I'm wasted. Okay, let's get going. I'll show you how it works. Here's the first icon. And press your buzzer when you think you know what it is. I think we've got one then. I can't actually hear the ones at the back. You'll have to wave as well. Alistair, do you want to tell us what you think it is? It is safeguarding. Yes, that's good. Did you get it? Good. All right, that was just a practice one. There's no points for that one. Okay, good. Round one. Ooh. So these are things that you need to have done ahead of the prayer ministry event. Could be in your parish, could be an event like this. These are things you need to do ahead of this, so it's preparation. Okay, are your fingers on buzzers? Okay, good. Here we go. There's a few things on this slide. Here's the first one. At the back there. Danger. Danger. You don't really want danger. It's almost the opposite. Risk assessment. Yes, you can have a point. Well done. It is risk assessment. You need to have conducted a risk assessment. If you don't know what that is, make sure the person organising the event knows what it is, and they should use the template for the property wherever you're running it. But that's important, risk assessment. It's not just health and safety, there's a whole other thing, load of things in there. What could this one be? The Bible. Yes, you should read your Bible. That's not actually in the policy. Understand the policy, good, yes, it's kind of in that. Why is it in a screen? Ministry. Why is the book in a screen? What's the screen represent? Online, so e-learning. Yeah, if this is the Portsmouth policy, the likelihood is you've got the same thing. There's normally safeguarding learning, e-learning. It's normally level 3 you need to do if your diocese is the same as Portsmouth. What is this one? The Sacrament of Reconciliation. Welcome to 2026, yes. And it actually is an active Catholic life. So yes, you should be going to reconciliation. You should have a personal relationship with Jesus. You should be going to church. You should be praying daily. These are really important things to do in advance of any event. And I say it not because I doubt anyone here is not doing any of these things, but when you're building a team to run things, you need to check stuff like that, okay? Actually, Stuart, you touched on it earlier around faith, and it's so important. This is not, you need to be a priest. Any guesses? I think I heard the word. You need parish priest permission to be a prayer minister. Okay, you need parish priest permission to be a prayer minister. Okay, that's before the event. So, sorry, let me go back. Risk assessment's done. You've done your e-learning for safeguarding, level 3 in Portsmouth. It's probably the same in your diocese. You should be living an active Catholic life. Craziness. And you need parish priest permission. Yes. I'm going through the Portsmouth prayer ministry policy. So, if you're not... Yes, then...
And if you want the guidance on the safeguarding level for your diocese, speak to your CHARIS or CDSC rep. And I can get a list of names of them for you if you want to know. So send me an email or we can talk about it before you go. And I'll get you the name to speak to so you get the right information for your diocese, okay?
Thank you, Stuart. There's also the Catholic Safeguarding Agency, which is a treasure trove of resources as well if you want to look into it. I haven't realised how hot this jacket is, so just appreciate the levels I'm going to. And apologies, this is really sweaty now. Okay, So we're prepared for the event. We're now going to get to the event of whatever type it may be, and this is the preparation for the event. There's quite a few here, so fingers on buzzers. I can't hear them. I'm not counting points either, but this is nothing to do with the lavatories. Stuart has mentioned it a few times. Yeah, we're going to come on to that. Actually, it's not that one. Good guess. Literally the same as what she just said, but yeah, that's okay. It's actually, you should pray in pairs, okay? You shouldn't be doing prayer ministry by yourself for someone. That's not part of policy. What do you think this one could be? You have to pray outside, only in this country. Our prayer ministry dives in wintertime. No, this is public space. You cannot do prayer ministry that's not in a public space. Again, it's a safeguarding risk. In the Portsmouth policy, a very specific policy, it says if you are in a closed room, the door has to have a pane of glass in it. So you need to be visible as to what's going on. You don't want to be too close to people so they can hear what's going on, but you need to plan for that. So it needs to be a public place. This one's quite easy. You should probably be seated. It's not a mandate. You can pray standing up. There's a particular reason, though, why you might prefer to be seated. One, it's more comfortable. There's no joke in that. That can help people relax, which they might need to be to open up to receive prayer. And two, what's the other one that's a bit of a risk safeguarding-wise? Yeah, resting in the Spirit, slain in the Spirit, people can fall. You are responsible as a prayer minister for catching people. And if they are slain in the Spirit, you're also responsible for them whilst they're slain in the Spirit. You can't just leave them and say, right, next. It's important. You are responsible. It's a safeguarding risk. So you should generally aim to have seated prayer ministry. Oh, this one's a bit ambiguous. Forgive me. It was a late night when I wrote it. This is the one I think we touched on already. It's same sex. Yeah, you should aim to have mixed prayer pairs. That gives you the flexibility. However, if you've got two ladies, they can pray with a lady. If you've got two men, they can pray with a man. But generally, you should aim to have mixed pairs to give you the flexibility. What you can't do is have two ladies praying with a man, two men praying with a lady. This one is not short people. Stuart's mentioned it. No unsupervised under 18s. You can pray with people who are under 18. According to Portsmouth policy, the parent or guardian has to be present, i.e. with you when you're praying with them. They cannot be unsupervised. Yeah, sure. They might not want that. I've got a 17-year-old. That's exactly the sort of thing she says on a whole manner of different things. Unfortunately, the policy is if you're under 18, you have to have your parent there with you. That's it. It again comes down to safeguarding. No, they should be with you when you're praying with them. Yeah. Yeah. The policy is no unsupervised under 18s, and the specificity in the policy is you need to be with the under 18-year-old. So I get, if they're outside of earshot, surely that's fine, but you don't know what the adults, the responsible adults who are prayer ministers are saying to a minor. So it's not just non-verbal, it's also verbal what's been said. So that is the policy. I don't necessarily agree with every detail on the policy, by the way, but that is the policy. And the last one, this is obviously part of preparation. What could this one be? No touching. Yeah, it's not that one. It is prayer. What sort of prayer? What's the shield? Protection. Yeah, prayers of protection. So before you do your prayer ministry, you should say prayers of protection. This might be, if you're doing a group event like this, you might gather together all prayer ministers and do prayers of protection together. If it's a smaller event, it may just be a couple of you, then you do prayers before you start your ministry. These are in a handout, which I'll give to you. This is from the Portsmouth policy. These are the sorts of prayers. I'm not going to go through them now. They're there for reference. No doubt you will have seen these before, but you should be doing that before you do your ministry. Okay, we're prepared. We've got the seats. We've got mixed couples. We've done our prayers of protection and the other ones I can't remember. We're ready to go. So at the event, right, this is quite a lot on here. I'm going to go through them as quick as I can. Stuart, oh no, we need to keep going. Right, Stuart's looking nervous. Actually, we've been doing this all day and you've been practicing. I'm just going to go through them. There's no points anyway. Everyone's going to get a prize, don't worry. You need to ask and give names. You should ask if they've experienced prayer ministry before. This is handcuffs. It actually is around information sharing. You do retain confidentiality, obviously, when you pray with someone. Whatever they say to you is confidential. However, if they say something that is a risk or it's a safeguarding issue, you have a legal responsibility to report that. So if someone shares something that's illegal, they've done this, I've done some bad stuff, you can imagine sorts of things, you have a legal responsibility. And if you feel like the conversation's going that way, you would need to inform them, this is a confidential conversation. However, I must tell you that if you share something that is illegal or is a potential breach of safeguarding policy, I have a duty to report it. So you can inform them if appropriate. It's very rare, but it's important that you're aware of that. Is there a specific prayer that you like? We've talked about that today. This is not, I've got a migraine. This is, can I have permission to place hands? You'll notice on this one, the hand's on the forehead. According to Portsmouth Diocese policy, you can ask permission to put hand on forehead or shoulder. Stuart touched on it. You should use common sense, but if in doubt, stick to the policy. Shoulder is appropriate. If they say no, that's fine. The Holy Spirit works how the Holy Spirit works, but stick to the policy. This one is permission to pray in tongues. You should ask if you can, if appropriate, if you sense that that's useful. This one, any guesses? Quite a few of us struggle with this one. It's actually 2 in 1. Keep your eyes open. Why do you keep your eyes open? Because you might need to catch them. Yeah, from a safeguarding perspective, that's why you do it. In actual fact, your ministry is important. You keep your eyes open so you can see how they are reacting as you're praying with them anyway. But quite a difficult one. Someone just asked me, I think, how do you do it? And I said, it's like swimming underwater with your eyes open. I really don't like the sting. I just get used to doing it. So, this one is, you should not be offering advice or counsel. That is not the purpose of your prayer ministry. So after the prayer or during the prayer, oh, do you know what? You should probably go and see a psychiatrist. You do not offer advice or counsel, okay? There's liabilities actually on that kind of stuff, so you wouldn't do that. And then this is an obvious final prayer. People tend to default to glory be, that's fine. But you may want to say that when you're beginning your prayer ministry so people know it's the end, otherwise it can feel never ending. Okay, good. This is the last round, and there's not as many on this one, but this is after you've done your prayer ministry. So you've said your glory be, they've skipped off in radiance, and there's 2 on this slide. I can hear the sighs of relief. This one is confidentiality. We've talked about it already. Whatever's said in the room stays in the room, or I shouldn't say room, I should say public space. Unless there's been 2 exceptions, yes. Something that's illegal or something that is a risk, i.e. a safeguarding risk that someone's shared. And the other one that you would do, it's prayer again. It's the prayer sign. What's the sword? Sword of the Spirit. Yeah, these are prayers of cleansing. So when you've done prayer ministry, you would do a prayer of cleansing. These are also in the handout, which is in the Portsmouth guidelines, and they are there. They are not exhaustive. There's many prayers of cleansing. Yeah. The question was, sometimes safeguarding can be a bit of you're sort of discerning a grey area. Is this a vulnerable adult or not? If they're a vulnerable adult, they should be treated like an under 18. There's actually, oh, sorry, Carol, let me squeeze through. There is something I just put in here. This is worth looking at if you've got spare time. This is the Catholic Safeguarding Standards Agency, and there is a discerning flowchart that helps you understand whether or not there's a risk and what you need to do. So you should have a dedicated safeguarding lead as part of your prayer team, prayer ministry. Someone wears that badge. They need to nerd up on this stuff. That's about as much of an answer I can give you because I can feel the presence of Stuart. So, but yes, that's what I would default to. I know it's a cop-out answer. I'm not a safeguarding expert, by the way. I was asked to present the content. But yes, I put it in the slide deck because I needed to learn the stuff as well. But Catholic Safeguarding Standards Agency website is a really good place for resources. And that was it. Give yourselves a round of applause. It's prize time. Everyone's going to get a prize. It's like Oprah Winfrey show. You're going to get a prize. You're going to get a prize. Do you know what the prize is? Ooh! It's the prayer ministry policies. Woo! It's going to be take one and pass them along, and I'm going to give you the Arundel and Brighton and the Portsmouth ones. Others are available. That's it. Thank you, Stuart, my glamorous assistant. And there you go. Just pass them round. And that is it. Thank you and good night.
Mike, that's amazing. I've never seen safeguarding been made so interesting before. And I had a little flashback then to the 1980s. I don't quite know what was going on. Look, oh, there's some music playing as well. That's strange. Anyway, how did you turn it off? Oh, there it is, the zapper. Let's see, oh, it's like rudely stopped, wasn't it? Look, you know, that was fantastic. And what I want to say is I just want to say thank you to everybody for coming. It's been amazing being here with you doing this. I just want to remind you, check with your diocese, make sure you do the right level of safeguarding training. In A and B, we've had to do the level 3s. So we've had to go to level 3. I think it's the same in Portsmouth. I think it's the same pretty much everywhere else. So go check that out. Speak to your CDSC or CHARIS rep. Go to the CHARIS UK, CHARIS England and Wales website. It's got your CHARIS reps on there. The other thing to say, and Alistair, did you want to mention a door as well? I just want to say out there by the computer, we've also got the donation pots. And thank you for everybody who's donated. We've got some sign-up sheets. If you want to minister in your diocese from wherever you're from, sign up. There's a sheet out there and pens out there on that table just out there. Make sure you sign up, because then what I can do is I can share. If you're not from if you're not from this town, I sound like a Western. If you're not from this town, I can share it with the person who's in your town, and then they can then take forward your involvement in whatever they're doing. So sign up, and that gives your agreement that you want to be contacted and you want to work as a prayer minister. So make sure you sign up, then we can go and take that forward. Alistair's going to say something as well about a door.